People often talk a lot about what girls look for in a guy, but they avoid the topic of what girls don't look for in a guy. It's not actually a negative or a bad thing to talk about, and it's very important to know this so that you can change your ways if you have found yourself falling into this trap. The one thing that women will not stand for in a gentleman is dishonesty. Of course, dishonesty comes in many forms, which is what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. If you can avoid doing these things, you won't just have more luck with the ladies, you will have more luck with everyone that is around you, because they're going to respect you more and want you in their lives. So I'm going to tell you about the warning signs that reveal a dishonest person so that you can avoid displaying them at all costs. When guys say always or never quite a lot. When a guy uses always or never a lot, it is called using absolute language. It's something girls can notice over time that makes them believe that the guys they are talking to is being dishonest. An example of this happening is when a guy says something like, "You never mention how much you like me." She might reply with, "You know how much I like you," but in the girl's mind, she might think, "I tell him all the time that I like him. Why is he always saying this?" If a guy was to keep doing this over time, the girl would believe he was trying to deceive her and trick her into thinking she doesn't say things that she actually does. When a guy uses this type of language over and over again, he starts to believe it himself, even though deep down he knows it's not true. This can be dangerous because he can start becoming disillusional as well as dishonest. On the other hand, people who are honest tend to use language that is called soft absolutes, which are words such as usually, often, probably, practically, and also frequently. So the next time you go to talk to a lady, think carefully about the type of language that you are using. Now, we can all fall into the trap of using absolutes, so be careful not to and catch yourself whenever you are. Guys brag by downplaying their accomplishments. This is a classic dishonest trait. It is something both guys and girls do, and they can do it for many different reasons. Sometimes they might do this because they are self-conscious and don't have much confidence. If they downplay things, then someone else might jump in and say, "Hang on, you did amazing," which momentarily makes them feel great. If this is the case, the person is not trying to be dishonest, they are just lacking some confidence and need some help to get it back. Oftentimes, though, they know what they are doing, sadly. Often guys will talk about how they have to downplay something they have achieved to make others feel better. For example, a guy might say to a lady, "I was promoted at work, but I can't talk about it around Connor because he missed out on that opportunity." It's kind of annoying. He has told the lady that he has got a promotion, which is fine, and it's great to share your achievements with others. He has then, however, mentioned that he has to downplay his achievements by not talking about it. A girl might think this is him being nice in the beginning because it sounds that way, but then later see it as a red flag. When he adds in, "It's annoying," this shows a girl that he is bragging to show her that he has to downplay his accomplishment. And that is not something an honest person would do. They would mention their accomplishment, celebrate it, and then just simply move on. They wouldn't brag or downplay to make it a bigger issue than it needs to be. And guys like this often like to name drop and mention their status often. These are not attractive traits to a lady, and it shows them that the man is most likely dishonest. Guys who try to impress girls by judging other people. Girls will not stand for guys who imply that they are better than someone else. They often compare themselves to other people and leave room for someone to jump in and join in with them. Basically, they want another person to sink to their level and to be mean about someone they might not even know. They frame it as a healthy form of bonding and make you believe that if you join in, you are part of their group. All it leaves a girl thinking, though, is that this guy isn't very nice, and what does he say about me when I'm not here? So don't be that guy. Avoid judging other people or trying to act like you are better than them. This is typical dishonest behavior. When guys are highly defensive, girls do notice. Have you ever been around someone who is extremely defensive? It can be kind of hard to communicate with them or to get them to understand anything that you are saying. Now, the reason for their defensive behavior is normally something to do with dishonesty. It could be something that they did in their past which has built up in their minds. Whatever is the source, a girl recognizes this behavior straight away and eventually will confront a guy about it. Guys who love to debate. This one, it's kind of tricky for girls to always spot. A healthy debate is actually very healthy within a relationship. You might be debating about politics or your favorite type of chocolate. This is, of course, very fine behavior. It only becomes a problem when a guy debates everything. Whatever a girl says, he has a counter-argument or something to say about it. He never gives her time to express his opinion and often carries on speaking instead of waiting for her reply. Girls see this as obnoxious and dishonest behavior. Guys who talk too much and say too little. This might sound a little confusing at first. What I mean by it is that when guys talk a lot but they have nothing really to say, they just talk about everything and anything, but nothing has much substance. It's a sign that a guy is trying to hide something and is deflecting from it by talking about other random topics. It's not a great sign and girls will read this as him being honest. Guys who don't know how to apologise. It can be hard to admit that you are in the wrong and to say something for whatever you have done that has caused pain for someone else. It's a struggle and guys especially find it difficult to do. However, if you want to attract girls and get their attention, then you need to have good morals and values. One way you can show this is to not be afraid to say sorry. Stand up, hold your head high and put your pride to the side. It's the best thing you can do. And when guys refuse to apologise for their mistakes, it just becomes very obvious that they are dishonest people and girls really hate this in a guy. Guys who display uncomfortable body language. We really can tell so much about someone's body language. If someone is sitting comfortably, displaying open body language, then they look confident, honest, and approachable. If someone looks uncomfortable and as if they would rather not be there, then it's very off-putting. They seem closed off and like they are not very approachable. When a guy does this, it makes him look dishonest and like he is hiding something. Often when someone is hiding something, they are acting very uncomfortable, and this shows even when they don't mean it to. There you go, we've reached the end of the video. I really hope this video helped. Leave your comments down below if you feel I've missed something from today's video. And one more thing, if you want to get your name rolling up like these people's names just here, then all you have to do is click the link in the description bar to find out a little bit more. Have an amazing day, like and subscribe. See you soon.